Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to an Inman Insider webinar. This is going to be a very exciting webinar for you today. We have two very influential leaders here to talk about something really exciting in the industry. So we are really excited to have Robert Reffkin, CEO of Compass, as well as Rory Golod, who is also the President of Growth and Communications for Compass. We know that many of you are here today, so we want to make sure you can hear us and that you can see us. Just feel free to go into your chat and say hello to these wonderful gentlemen today. We are going to be taking a super rare look into the Compass technology platform and discuss the past 10 years of innovation from this amazing company. I've been lucky enough to watch this journey since day one, and it has been nothing short of exciting and dynamic. Welcome to the both of you. How are you today?
Doing great. Glad to be here. And thanks for everyone for joining.
Yeah, we have a big crowd, so we're letting everybody kind of come in over the next couple of minutes. To help you get familiar, everyone on the call, we have your chat that you can go into the chat. Let us know if you have any questions. We are recording today's session, so never fear if you've got to do business or take off, you will get a recording. So Robert, why don't I go ahead and just kick this off with you? Why are we here today and what are we going to see?
Well, first of all, thank you everyone for joining today and being interested in what we have to share. My name is Robert Reffkin. I'm the founder and CEO of Compass. My mom is a real estate agent. She's actually an agent at Compass, but she's been an agent my entire life. And I saw her move from firm to firm, always hoping that she would get more support and tools to realize success. And she didn't get what she was hoping to get and what she was told that she was going to get at times. And so I share that because I am emotionally driven to want to see real estate agents, to me, the greatest group of entrepreneurs in the country, succeed. And the whole spirit of Compass has been, how can we raise as much money as possible to invest in the future of the real estate agent and what they want? And so of the things we invested in, we raised over $2 billion and over $1 billion was invested in things like Compass Concierge, where we front load the cost of staging to make homes move-in ready. But over $1.5 billion was invested in the technology platform, which we will share today. And we're still investing $100 million a year. And so with that, I wanted to introduce Rory Golod, our President of Growth, who's going to share what we've done. And I hope you enjoy it.
Great. Thank you so much, Robert. Thank you, Laura. And so I'm really excited to be here today to be able to actually take everyone behind the scenes at a look at the Compass platform. And I know we have a number of people joining us, some folks who are not at Compass, some who are at Compass, who are going to see many of the things that they use every single day. But we've been getting a lot of questions over the last number of years, quite frankly, on the Compass tech platform. What is it? Is it real? Does it make an impact? And
can I just say it's one of the best kept secrets when people are talking about Compass? It's like, what can you tell me? And it's like, it's just amazing. I can't even explain it. So I'm going to let you explain it, but just so you know that it's the best kept secret.
I appreciate that. Well, yeah, we hear the same positive feedback, but I think we want people to actually see, particularly around the platform. There are other things about Compass you just have to experience: the culture, the brand, the human support, but the technology, people can see it and they can touch it. And so we wanted to take this as an opportunity to say, let's show everyone, let's show the world what this platform is and why it is the most impactful thing that an agent can leverage to grow their business. Why is it that there are thousands and thousands of Compass agents who wake up every morning and use this platform to run their business? Why is it that there are close to 400 agents who had left Compass in prior years and came back in the last year? And among all of them, the number one thing they said was the platform. They missed the technology platform and they needed to come back for it. So we wanted to use this as an opportunity to take everyone through it. Now, I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to run through it. I'm going to try to do this in 20 minutes. So I wish we had 2 hours. Yeah. It might get a little boring for some, but it would take 2 hours to go through everything. But I wanted to use this time to just try to take 20 minutes and go through some highlights of different things and workflows that we've created that our agents use to grow their businesses. Now, the things I will share, first off, 90% of what we built are tools for agents to run their business. And so when you go to compass.com and you use it and you interact with it, whether it's as a consumer or an agent, and whether it's compass.com or it's our mobile app, either one of these are very clean and simple and easy to use and great. But the real technology, the real impact is behind the scenes. And that's the inside of the Compass platform. That is the back-end system that our agents use to run their businesses every single day. And so that's what I'm going to take everyone through. And so we'll start here. When you first log in, everything you're seeing today, by the way, is live, is something that is proprietary that we have built. None of this is third-party tools. All of these tools are tools that Compass built themselves internally, because ultimately you can't outsource great technology. You have to build it internally. It's why the world's best technology companies build their own technology, because you can't outsource it. And so I'm going to go through a couple different workflows, as we're using the platform, almost how our agents would use it, right? The first thing I'm going to start off with is think about searching for properties. Think about working with a buyer. One of the great things about Compass is that Compass agents can search within Compass. They don't need to use any third-party aggregators or the MLS or other systems. They can search within Compass. All the data that exists within the MLS flows into Compass. And so everything that exists out there comes into Compass. Compass agents can go in and they can search and they can find properties. One of the benefits we also have is that because we have a platform where agents can search in one place, all of the private exclusives, which are the off-market listings that Compass has, are inside the system for our agents to access. And so rather than having to email colleagues in your office or always, try to figure out, hey, what was that off-market listing that someone mentioned? You can go in and see all the off-markets in your region in one simple place. And in a low inventory environment, that's obviously particularly beneficial to any clients that an agent's working with. I can go in, I can see, the photos and the information about a property and the listing and everything that is available to me. And I can decide, if any of these properties are properties I want to send to my clients. And so maybe I traditionally would select a few of these and I'd go in and just email them right to my client, which is great and easy to do, but doesn't really make the client experience better. What we did is we built a product called Collections. And what Collections is a visual portfolio of the buying process. Think of a collection like the Pinterest board for the buyer. Rather than me having to email my buyer a bunch of links, and then they email me back, and then they text me, and then we get on the phone, and then we meet, and all this conversation is happening in 10 different places, and it's not simplified in one area, a Compass agent just shares their client on a collection. This is the agent view. So the client view would be a little different, but it's pretty similar. And the client can go in, they can see every property that the agent has populated in the collection. The agent can set this up so that they can set search criteria so that automatically listings can just flow into the collection based on the criteria they select. They can even determine when their client gets alerted when a new listing comes in. And the agent and the client work together on the collection. So the client can go in, they can see the property, they can see the photos, the information, everything about the property. And then the client can communicate with the agent, right? So this client can say, hey, I really like the layout. Could we see at the end of the day to see the sunset based on the photo? And the agent can say, absolutely. Let me confirm a time and I will come back to you. Now the agent and the client are communicating in one place.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, it makes it, right? Think about how many times you've had an interaction with a buyer.
Yeah.
And you've forgotten what they've said. You're not sure. Did you share that property? What'd they think of it? You also can invite anyone to collaborate on a collection. So I can add anyone to this. If I'm working with one person, they wanted their spouse. I'm working with parents who are helping a child buy a property. Maybe I'm referring a client from, I'm a Compass agent in New York. I'm referring a client to a Compass agent in LA. I want to be on the collection. I want to see what they're showing my client. So the ability to share this is incredible. And the collection lives forever. So I can see over time if my clients continuously engage with any of the listings in there. I can see how many times they've looked at it. One thing that's very interesting is when you see that there's a property that you think would be perfect for your client, but they've only looked at it once, but maybe there's another one they've looked at 10 times. And so you can really better manage the day-to-day experience with the clients. And the clients will indicate to the agent which ones they like, which ones maybe they don't like, and they're not interested in, and ultimately which ones they want to go see, right? So, right, then the logical next step would be we're going to go see these properties. And so let's say that I want to take my clients to go see these 3 properties, right? Because these are the ones they've indicated as we've gone back and forth that they like. And so we're going to create the tour. And I think this is just a great example of how technology can enhance the agent's experience. And so let's say this is Tuesday's new client New York tour. I can select which client of mine this is for based on whichever client is in my CRM. So I can tag it to that client. And now I can create the tour. Wow. And now you'll see how easy this is, right? So the system knows what the most efficient route is. So it automatically says we should start, in this case, all the way uptown, head down a little bit, and then head all the way down to Tribeca. And we're using New York in this example, but this would be true in any market. We have all the 3 properties we're going to go see. It integrates with showing time if it's a market that uses showing time, or it can just manually say, you know what, ideally, I'd like to go see this property at 9:30. This one I'd ideally like to go see at 10:30 and would like to go to this one. Hopefully we get there by 12:30. Yeah. Now I have to contact the listing agent. I can't just show up, right? I'm working with the buyer. It's not my listing. I don't want to have to go find their email address, call them, text them, email them. Maybe
this is what I'm talking about. Like, this just cuts down on so much chasing information, right? And as well, this is data driven too. So you have this analytic piece behind it that's informing you as an agent. I mean, this is superpower. This is amazing.
Well, so all I do is click email listing agent. Amazing. I've got the email address of the agent in there. The subject is written for the email. It addresses the agent. Now notice we said 9:30, so it knows to write the email and say, I want to see the unit at 9:30, and I can just click send. Wow. So think about, right, we're saving minutes here, but minutes add up and they turn into hours. And then to take it a step further, what's the next step with my client? I don't want to just send my client an email and say, hey, meet me at this address and we'll go from there. I want to create some content for them. And so we can do this in a matter of moments. And this is the kind of thing where many agents struggle because they spend hours creating content or they just don't do it at all, right? So I can add some introductory notes. I want to add my name and information. So let's go in and let's pretend I am Stacy. So I just type in my name and I can go in and select it. And then my headshot, my phone number, my email address automatically in there. I don't have to go find my headshot. I've got the overview of the properties, information about each property. In this case, we're including floor plans and the route we're going to take to get there. Wow. And all I have to do is decide, you know what, email this to my client or I can print it and bring it with me. Now, the great thing about this, notice we went from searching for properties, then we shared them in a collection with our client, and then we created a tour. But we never left Compass. We only had 1 tab open. We didn't have 15 tabs or 20 tabs.
Just typical.
Right? It is unfortunately typical. Mm-hmm. And there's a saying I have, which is integration is the innovation. Yeah. The average real estate agent uses 20 systems. Right? 20 systems.
I was just going to say that. I just saw that in a headline that the average agent does use 20 different products to achieve pretty much what this just did.
20 different products, according to T360, the well-known real estate consulting firm. Mm-hmm. And the problem is if you have 20 tabs open, you're never going to have an experience that is going to make you efficient, going to help you make more money, and is going to be something your clients are impressed with. The best technology platforms in the world are integrated, right? When you're on your mobile phone, you can't use 20 apps at the same time.
Right.
And so what we have done is we've taken all these different workflows. We didn't invent the concept of searching for properties or setting up tours. We just took all these different things. We put it into one place, one login, one system, one app to do everything so that you don't need 12 or 20 or 30. and you don't need to pay for all of them.
Right.
So that's part of what makes it so challenging for agents.
Yes.
Now, if we sort of pivot for a moment, think about marketing, right? Marketing is probably the most time consuming and important activity an agent has, right?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, marketing is incredibly difficult because my options as an agent are pay a third party to do it, find third party software that doesn't really work for real estate, or try to do it myself, right? Which is,
you know how that goes.
Yeah. Exactly.
From a brand and marketing perspective, not really well.
Yeah, I would struggle in that area myself.
Yeah.
And so Marketing Center within the platform is the one-stop marketing place for our agents. I like to say, think of Marketing Center, this product, like having a graphic designer on your team, but for free, or having Photoshop in your hands, but anyone can use it. And so I can go in and create any content I need. Now, the interesting thing that we do is we recognize that agents, their time is very limited. So creating content can be challenging. And so in Marketing Center, every week we automatically give our agents content. With everything going on in the industry, maybe an agent wants to send something to clients about buyer representation. That content's all in here. They can select it. They might want to share, why Compass is a great brand and a great company for those clients. They might want to create videos for listings. They can do that. Maybe they want to talk about posts on social media about market share and all the markets Compass is number one in. Maybe they want to share market stats and data. Every week, we provide this content to agents. Maybe you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan and you're in Kansas City. And that's your clients. All that's in there. So they can go right in there and create. They don't have to get in the mind space of being a content creator. Let's actually create some content though, right? Let's say we have a brochure for a listing, which is obviously a pretty standard common thing for an agent to need. We'll see how easy it is to create this, right? I've got all different starting points here that I can use. We don't like calling them templates, we call them starting points. And I go in, let me pick one. Now, the system knows these are all my listings, right? So I don't have to even worry about entering my listing. I'm just going to pick one of my listings. I click on the listing. All the information on the listing automatically flows into the brochure.
Yeah.
And maybe I decide, I don't love this photo. Well, that's fine because I don't have to go into my files and find the other photos and upload them. It's all integrated. All that data lives in Compass. Wow. So I decide, I like this photo better. That's a better view. In this case, I'm going to remove the unit number. And, I'd like to just move this over. So we're just going to move it over to the middle. I think that looks good. This looks good. And, right here, I'm co-listing this with, let's say, one of our agents. I don't need to bother that agent and email them and say, hey, can you send me your headshot and all? Just type in his name.
Wow.
And I'm done. Right now, I am not a graphic designer. I'm not skilled in graphic design at all.
I am. And I used to do these brochures and they take by hand, they can take a long time, especially to have a really nice, sleek brand. But to be able to drop in all of this with correct resolutions of photos and headshots and have it be branded to Compass is phenomenal. It's half the battle.
Well, and here's to make it even easier. I might decide I want to print this in my office and bring it. Or what I most likely want to do is have beautiful gloss, thick stock copies created. And so again, in the spirit of integration, I just click one button. This will automatically get sent to a third-party printing provider, in this case, Express Docs. I never have to interface and use it. I just click the button. And in 3 days, I can have 200 gloss copies sent right to my office so I can bring them to my open house. All right. So we've tried to take something that either would take a lot of time or would cost an agent money and make it simple and easy to use. Now, what we just did for a brochure, we can do for any type of collateral. Social media post. If I want to post on Instagram about my new listing, again, I just put in, I've got all my listings in here. Select my listing. I can make the same edits and changes, post right to Facebook or Instagram. Maybe I want to.
You're integrated with the social media platforms as well.
Completely integrated so that I can do that right from there. Email. Compass agents don't need to use third-party email service providers. They can send all their email newsletters right from Compass. Videos. If I want to create a video for my listing, I do it right within Compass. Digital ads. This is one of my favorite ones. I think agents should be doing digital ads for every listing because the cost relative to the exposure is so high. For a few $100s, you can get in front of thousands of people and it's measurable. But most agents don't do digital ads because it's a pain. You got to figure out, how do I set up a business account on Facebook and how much should I spend? And then a number of them hire third-party agencies to do this, which is, it's quite frankly massively overpriced, right? So I can go in, I've got all my listings, they're in there. I select a listing and I can just create a digital ad really easily. And I can see if I want to do it on Facebook, if I want to do it on Instagram, I want to do it on Google. I can go and I can edit the ad, make any changes, adjust the photo I want to use. And then from there, I can go in there. I can edit how much money I want to spend, where I want to run the ad. Do I want to use certain zip codes? Do I want to target my own contacts in my CRM and retarget them on social media? And then I can set how much I want to spend, and my credit card's in the system. So I just purchase the ad and that's it. I never even have to worry about going to one of those third-party companies to do it. So again,
one thing that I really love about this too is that if you are an agent that is working cross-nationally, in other words, you have secondary markets, you have secondary referral partners, you can target those ads to a completely different farm or location. And one thing that I feel like is really big this year in a shortage of inventory is adding on additional inventory markets for you to feed into and to do this. So this looks like that could already be set up. You don't even have to think about it. It's like turn it on and go. So that's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's and part of what makes it so impactful is, as you said, I can be meeting with a client and say, look, if you believe that they're going to be extra, buyers coming from Florida, let's say, and your listings in New York, I can go right in there, drop in my zip codes and do it. Now, we go a step further, right? We're just talking about, marketing collateral, print and digital. But what about physical collateral? What about if I want to gift my clients, right? If I want to send a client a closing gift, I can do it right through Compass. And maybe I want to send my client this water purifier. I go in, add it to the cart, check out, and it automatically tags that in the CRM to remind me that I bought this client this product and I had it sent to them. And I can do a personalized note. And so I can gift through the platform so I can keep track of it. I can order my business cards, my signs. When I order a sign for a listing, I don't go to some third-party vendor, or my team doesn't have to do that. It's all through Compass, right?
Yeah.
So everything gets done within the system so that I, as an agent, don't have to worry about using all these different third-party tools. Now, when you think about kind of the next logical step of I'm searching for properties, I'm marketing properties, like how do I actually track my business?
Yes.
Right. One of the things I always say, when you go to an agent's office, you're always going to see a whiteboard, and it's going to have like my current listings, my current buyers, anything that's in contract or in escrow or pending. But a whiteboard is not going to make an agent or their client's life easier because it's static. And so we built a product called Business Tracker, which I like to say, think of it as like the digital whiteboard, right? Wow. For every buyer, renter or lease I'm doing, seller, all of it lives in my Business Tracker. And this is a place where I can go in. And so if someone were to ask me, hey, what's going on with every seller you're working with? Those that you first reached out to, those that you're nurturing, those that are preparing a list. What about those that have already listed, those that are in contract, and those that have closed? Right. So I have one place where I can keep track of all of this. And as the statuses change, I can update this. I can say, this one closed. Great. I move that over and all the numbers update for me.
Wow.
And as I am looking in here, everything I need for my listings in this place, right? If I always say this to agents, I say, hey, if I were to ask you, show me where everything lives for a transaction.
Yeah.
What would you say?
20 different places. Exactly. And I don't know. And a big I don't know.
A big I don't know. And then, the inevitable, a client asks a question months later and you're trying to say, wait, where does this thing live? But it should all be in one place, right? Yes. And so let's say this listing, right? I've got all the tasks that I need to complete for this listing. As I check off tasks, they get completed. I can even assign tasks to my team. So maybe there's people on my team who are going to do certain tasks. Got all the information about the property, notes, the checklist of the transaction, all the steps I need to take so that myself or my team is kept up to speed on where things are. When I want photography for my listing, I don't have to get the photographer to send me all the photos and then I download them from Dropbox and I upload them. We just put in the photographer's email address. The photographer gets a link. Photographer uploads the photos. They automatically get uploaded into Compass.
No way.
Yeah, we cut out every step that is not needed. And by the way, pretty soon we're going to be able to, once those photos come in, automatically build the listing page draft for an agent and use AI to predict which photos should go in which order. So it's something we're excited about. And
I'm a listing coordinator here from way back in the day, and the number of hours that this saves for a productive agent is like exquisite, and the removal of friction. So this not only removes a lot of that time consuming things, but this allows agents to focus on the income producing activities, but also removes this friction that keeps agents from wanting to get into their systems and actually work with the processes and be more data driven. So the user experience on this just looks amazing as well. So
yeah. It was built purposely to be easy, right? And part of being easy is how it looks and how it operates. Within a transaction, I've got all my files associated with the transaction, information about the listing, if I create any marketing collateral, but we even go a step further. If I am doing an offer, it goes within Compass. I don't need to use a third-party system. Compliance documentation. All the documents with my transaction get uploaded into Compass. There are no third-party tools like SkySlope or anything like that. So all the documents I need for all my transactions upload into Compass, and they stay here forever so that the agent can access them forever because they might need them or their client might ask about them. And then even when it comes time for my commission, I get paid through Compass. And so I go in and I submit my commission form. I put in all the information about the listing. Maybe I have a team member that's going to get a portion of the transaction. All of that is done within Compass. And the beautiful thing is that all those transactions are then tracked within their finances. So I, as an agent, here's a funny thing. Another question I ask agents, can you pull up on your phone and tell me how many homes you've sold so far this year, what the sales volume was, and what the gross commission income has been to yourself? No. And unfortunately, I've not met an agent in another company that can do that. Think about how crazy that is, right?
Yeah,
like
that's insane.
This is our business. And so this has obviously made that significantly easier. Now, we've talked about searching for properties, sharing properties with clients and collections. We've talked about marketing. We've talked about tracking your business in Business Tracker. I want to talk a little bit about how agents grow their business. Now, the most powerful tool to grow your business is CRM, right? The CRM is the most powerful tool. And we have built what agents say is the best real estate CRM that exists. Now, I'm going to pull up a client contacts, right? I have all my contact information for this client. I've got all their activity, all the things that they're doing, all the details about the client. And the client activity is very valuable to me.
Yeah.
If I'm not aware of what my client's doing, I'm in the dark.
Yeah.
Right. So in this case, my client Drew has been engaging in this collection. I can see that she's looked at listings. She's looked at the collection. I can see that she's commented. And maybe I'm working with this client Drew in New York. Right. So we're looking at all these properties in New York. And all of a sudden, I notice that my client Drew starts looking at properties in other markets. Right. And once I notice that, there's something interesting there, because if my client is looking at properties in other markets, that's an opportunity to connect them with an agent in that market for a referral.
Right.
In this case, my client Drew, she was looking at condos in Palm Beach. And each one of these she looked at 2 times. Yeah. I can reach out to her and say, hey, are you looking to maybe buy in Palm Beach? If you are, let me connect you to a great Compass agent so I can make sure you have a good experience. 100%. And now that's a 25% referral fee to me. If I didn't know about that,
you would have no way. This is where data is so important in driving decisions and the customer experience.
Exactly. And so it's incredibly important. If you're going to stay on top of your clients, you need to be able to connect to your clients about insightful things and talk about things that are relevant to them. And so you want all the information that you need. One of my favorite products is a tool called Likely to Sell. Now, everyone is talking about AI now in real estate.
Yeah.
But for us, AI is not something new. We've been using AI for years. Over 2.5 years ago, we launched this product called Likely to Sell. What Likely to Sell is an AI-driven algorithm that we've built that will go into an agent's contact database within their CRM and analyze their contacts and score them across dozens of different factors. So it's a very, very complicated algorithm that was built by our data scientists that scores their contacts and their listings by different criteria and assigns a high, medium, or low likelihood of that home transacting over the next 12 months. So what this does is this indicates to an agent, of all the different contacts you have, these are the folks who might have a higher likelihood of transacting, and you should reach out to them. And I, as the agent, can go in and I can look at my Likely to Sell recommendations, and I can email the client. I can create a CMA for their listing right from here and send it to them. I can also create a drip campaign. Maybe I decide that this client's probably a long-term seller, but I want to keep them engaged over the next couple months, but I don't want to, write myself a Post-it note to do that.
Right.
So I go in, I've got all the different steps that I can put in. I can customize what I want these steps to be. Maybe I want them to get a couple different emails. Maybe I want to edit the content in those emails. Maybe I want to skip some of these steps, and then I can set this. So the great thing is this can just, in the background, continuously touch the client, remind me to connect with the client. I can do this for as many of these as I want. Now, the really amazing thing about Likely to Sell recommendations is these are converting at over an 8% rate right now.
Wow.
Think about that. For every 100, 8+ are turning into sellers for Compass agents, right?
Yeah.
So I often say to people when they ask me about Compass that Likely to Sell is the most powerful tool I could give to an agent to help them grow their business. And it makes sense, right? Because what it's doing is it's just taking technology and doing what we would do if we had unlimited time. If we all had unlimited time, every morning we woke up, we'd go through our contacts, say, who should I call? But even then we'd have our own biases that would, trigger us to maybe say, maybe I won't contact that person.
Right. So, well, I want to segue just a little bit because we are running out of a little bit of time because there's so much I'm sure that we can do here. But if I'm an agent that is considering Compass, how would I even get trained on all of this? Like, how do I learn how to run this as part of my business operations?
I'm gonna answer that question, and I'm gonna share a product with you about how to do that.
Okay.
The answer to that question is we have an amazing team within Compass called the Agent Experience Team that teaches our agents how to use the technology, sits down with them in person as many times as they need to for as long as those agents are at Compass and teach them how to use the technology. We very much believe in-person one-on-one training.
Yeah.
We also have tools that can help an agent use the technology. So Compass AI, for example, we built Compass AI and launched it last year to remove the need for an agent to do all the administrative non-core tasks that they have, right? And the first iteration was simple stuff. Write me a listing description for my listing at 15 Central Park West, Unit 14D. So it started off like this, and it's great. You never need a copywriter again. It writes it. The beautiful thing is, unlike ChatGPT, Compass AI was built for real estate agents, right?
Wow.
Now I can say, write 5 social media posts with hashtags for this listing, and it'll do it for me, right? So I don't need to worry about that. It's amazing how it gets the hashtags, right?
Amazing.
But you asked about how to use our technology. Let me give you a great example. Or anything at Compass Concierge, which Robert mentioned.
Yeah.
Or maybe an agent wants to talk to a client about Compass Concierge, but they don't know how to. They can say, write me an email explaining the benefits of Compass Concierge to my seller. And it'll write it for them. So if I'm not clear on how to talk about it or how to use it, and so I can do that for anything. Maybe I say, you know what, walk me through how to best talk about collections with a buyer.
Yeah.
And so, you know, again, as I said earlier, we only had a short amount of time to show some of these tools.
I'm blown away. Yeah.
We could have spent hours, but I think it gives everyone a sense of kind of the things that we've created and how these tools help our agents.
I'm blown away. I'm sure everybody else here who isn't already using Compass, but this is phenomenal. I've been waiting for this for 10 years to see the magic, and this is phenomenal. So tell me, what is next on the horizon? What new tools are you working on that are really going to take you into the next decade?
I'll share a couple tools. One is just continuing to bring more on mobile. I would say about 80% of what he shared, or actually everything he shared, is on mobile, but there's a lot he didn't share.
Okay.
So 80% of the platform is on mobile. You want to get all of it on mobile because this clearly is one of the most mobile professions where the typical agent cannot do all of their workflow on a mobile app. They can do search, they can do some components, but not everything. And so we want to make it so an agent can do everything on the go if they choose to. The second is the Compass, we call it the wallet, where an agent will be able to put all the things that they spend money on, whether marketing budgets or anything, go through the wallet, and over time they could even get points on top of that as well.
Wow.
And then maybe the thing that I'm most excited by is the client dashboard, which we're launching for buyers and for sellers later this year.
I'm blown away. Okay, so for me to wrap this up just into my brain and just contextualize this a little bit, I think one of my biggest takeaways for this year is that, you know, we haven't really been talking a lot about the consumer, and certainly the relationship between agent and consumer. And you're a big proponent of this is all for agents. And what I'm seeing, my first takeaway is this is 100% going to be meeting the consumer in their journey over the next 5 to 10 years. And the way that you're using technology and innovation to create those relationships even before that initial agent consumer meetup even happens is phenomenal. I don't think we've gotten together as an industry to start to even envision what AI and what this kind of frictionless technology is doing behind the scenes, let alone with the consumer relationship. So I've been incredibly excited to see all of this.
Well, thank you, Laura. Thank you for inviting us. By no means are we a perfect company, but I do believe we put more dollars invested in, more people behind creating a single platform to help agents grow their business and better serve their clients. And I really appreciate you being open to learning more about us.
I'm excited. I have one last question for you. How does this help you build culture within your organization? Because I think for any people person that's involved with their brokerage and wants to have a deeper relationship, how does this really help just envelop your culture and welcome your agents in there?
Yeah, you know, first, I mean, just giving you the point around people, if anyone wants to learn more about Compass, email me directly, robert@compass.com. Call me 917-488-4898. Every principal agent that joins Compass, I call them on their first day. Every employee that comes, I call them. Every Friday, I invite agents to my house to have dinner. Every Sunday, I bring my family to open houses to support our agents and put it on social media. So I believe deeply that we are in the people business, and it's technology to empower the relationship, not to replace it. Yeah. But you know, what I have seen is that the world is getting more complicated for an agent because there are more and more tools every single day. It's like New York City restaurants. No one can go to all of them because there's one that opens and closes every day. It's impossible. Like how many every year there's a new CRM. Yeah. And so what we're trying to do is create software that eliminates or reduces the non-core administrative and arts and crafts tasks so that they can spend more time with people in the relationship and less time doing the non-core stuff.
That's music to my ears, 100%.
And also we're just in terms of culture, the culture we have is that the agent is the client. I work for agents, not the other way around. And we, as you can see, like we believe in person and people. We're not a virtual company. It's not either or. I think this industry has been like, you're either all tech,
Right.
or
You're
you're
either
like
all in this or yes.
We want
Right.
to we want to give the agent the best of everything in one place.
Yeah. I'm ecstatic with this. I think I'm really interested in seeing what you do over the next 10 years. I think that this is a really exciting time for the industry. And as always, you are very much leading the way. So more great things to come from you, and we can't wait to keep following your journey. I want to thank you both, Rory, Robert. Thank you so much for joining us. You are always welcome to, into our community. And this was, I'm blown away. You can tell I'm buzzing. So for anyone that wants more information, make sure that you follow up. We'll be sending out this recording. Thank you so much for investing a bit of your valuable time today with us to have this really insightful conversation. And I can't wait to see more. Yay.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you so much for your time, everyone. Take care.
Make a great day.